Hi, welcome to this info session about studying abroad in Iceland and Scandinavia. My name is Emily Louie, and I'm one of the study abroad advisors here at UC San Diego. I'm going to start off this session by reviewing the different types of programs that we have. So many UC San Diego students think that you just sign up to study abroad and then that's it. And it actually is a little more complicated than that, starting with selecting which program is right for you. And so I'll review the different programs and I'll try to explain which one would be most appropriate for each scenario. So the first is the ones that are hosted within UC San Diego. So we have our global seminar programs, which are only summer programs. That's really important. They are also faculty led by our own UC San Diego staff, so our faculty. So keep that in mind. You will be taking the equivalent of two courses while you're abroad over the summer. So this is a great option if you want a lot of support, if you only want to study abroad in the summer, or if you want to develop a really close relationship with UC San Diego faculty. There's a lot of really neat, intriguing programs. There's one specifically in the Netherlands, if you're looking for something in the kind of Northern Europe area. There's also one in Iceland. So I would say that this is a great option to get if you want to study abroad, specifically with UC San Diego students and UC San Diego faculty in the summer. Our other UC San Diego run program is Global Exchange. And that is a reciprocal agreement that we have with other universities. So for example, if a university in London sends us 8 students and we send them 8 of our students. So there are pros and cons of this program. I definitely recommend it if you are a more independent traveler and you're okay with a little bit less support. And the nice thing is that you only pay UCSD tuition with that program. The next set of programs are those that are hosted within the UC system. So starting with the Education Abroad program, I could tell you that probably 90% of you will probably go with an EAP or Education Abroad program. It is by hands down our most popular option. And that's because it is within our UC system. And basically we treat it just like if you were to study abroad at another UC campus. So that means that you don't have to take a leave of absence. You don't have to work with admissions when you come back. Your grades automatically from abroad get automatically populated into your UC San Diego transcript. And probably the biggest benefit is that majority of your financial aid will follow you with a UCEAP program. So again, that's definitely our most popular program. So I'm going to spend majority of my of this presentation talking about that specific program, but I want you to know about the other options just in case. The other UC run options are other UC campus programs. So for example, UC Davis offers a really popular summer program similar to our global seminar program, but with different topics and obviously with their faculty. So that is another option for you. And then the last option are those that are outside of the UC system. So we call them OAP programs, which is Opportunities Abroad program. Now, there are literally thousands of different programs, all with their pros and cons. So the thing to keep in mind with OAP programs is that you are going to get a lot less support because they aren't run through the school or through the UC system. The other thing is that they can be quite expensive. So they can cost a significant amount more than an EAP program, simply because they're not subsidized by the UC system. The last thing is that you may or may not be in cohorts with other students. Quality can range, and that you will have to work with admissions to get readmitted. You will have to, not all of your financial aid may follow you, some may though. And there is quite a bit more paperwork and administrative work to start with this program. So just keep all those factors in mind. Now that said, OAP program could be great for someone who doesn't meet the GPA requirements for an EAP program. Another reason an OAP program could be good for someone is if you want to study in a country that EAP doesn't offer. So for example, if you want to study abroad in Finland, there isn't any programs with an EAP, but you could potentially find an OAP program that goes there. The last reason that an OAP program could be better for someone else would be if you are an out-of-state or international student who doesn't want to pay the non-resident fees. Because the OAP programs tend to be more expensive, with the resident fees, they tend to be about the same cost as an EAP program. So then some students might choose that. But outside of those circumstances, I would say, again, majority of the students and most students who are watching this presentation are probably going to want to join an EAP program, which is Education Abroad program. I'm going to cover two really big topics right off the bat, because they're probably going to be the two most requested topics when it comes to questions about studying abroad. So first is financial aid. So the first question, yes, absolutely, financial aid can be applied to your study abroad experience, particularly if you go on an education abroad program or EAP program. Summer aid can get tricky. We do have a financial aid advisor that works within our study abroad office, and he specializes in study abroad that you can meet with. And what he can do is he can pull your account and look at your program costs and let you know what your out-of-pocket costs will be. I can tell you that some of our programs, students pay less than they would at UCSD. Some they pay the same. Most programs they do pay more. In Scandinavia, typically students do pay a little bit more than they do if they were to stay at UCSD, but also just keep in mind there are programs outside of Scandinavia where students actually do save money than if they were to stay in San Diego. So keep that in mind. We also do have numerous scholarships on our website. We do have a scholarship page where we list all the different opportunities for you, and we highly encourage that you apply for them. And then, like I have mentioned already, that we do have numerous programs where students actually save money by studying abroad instead of versus if they had stayed in San Diego. The next question I'm going to just cover right off the bat is academics. So yes, some of the coursework that you take abroad can satisfy the UC San Diego requirements. Again, particularly if it's an EAP program, so most of the time OAP programs can as well, depending on if you get your courses vetted through admissions and through your major and college advisor. With EAP programs, you still do need to meet with your major and college advisors, but you don't have to work with admissions. So that's one big distinction. Yeah, and then you can take some of your coursework pass, no pass with most programs as well. So that is another really common question that I get. All right, so let's first start off by talking about the different programs. Again, I'm going to mostly focus on the EAP programs because that is the most popular option for most students. So we're going to start in Denmark. And the first university that I'm going to talk about in Denmark is Aarhus. And Aarhus University is great if you're looking for a city in like a smaller scale. So if you want like kind of that college feel, you could take courses in a lot of different topics. But in particular, I want to mention that they specifically have a Danish society and culture course, which a lot of students really enjoy because they get to learn more about the Danish culture. It's a very walkable city. It's a very bikeable city. A lot of students really say that they like that small town feel. Keep in mind that in each one of these slides, I do have the GPA requirement as well as the class requirement. So you do have to be at least a junior to study at Aarhus, and you also have to have a 2.85 GPA. There are courses in English, as will all the universities that I mentioned. You have the option to live in a dorm, but you do self-arrange it. So basically UCEAP will give you some guidance and recommendations of dorms, and then you actually contact the dorm facility yourself. But overall, a lot of students really like that it's vibrant, it's youthful, and again, that's very walkable and has that community feel. The second course our program that I'm going to be featuring is Copenhagen Business School. So this is only a summer program, so keep that in mind. But it's really great for those who want to live in like a lively, bustling metropolitan area, because obviously Copenhagen is quite large. There's a lot of biking, a lot of outdoor food markets. There's a harbor. There's a lot of open green spaces. And so a lot of students really like just being in Copenhagen. But aside from that, in the business school, it really is focused just on business. And so it's great for business students. It's great for those who are studying economics or want to go in that side of things. So keep in mind you have to have a 2.85 GPA. This program does allow for sophomores, and so sophomores and above. Obviously, the language instruction is in English, and you arrange your own housing. So if you want to live in an apartment, great. If you want to live in a dorm, great. If you want to live with friends, great. Or if you have family there. So that is another very popular program that we have. The last program I'm going to feature is, again, one of our most popular, which is University of Copenhagen. You can take courses in most of the topics that you'll find at UCSD. And there's also research opportunities, which is quite unique if you want to work with one of the local faculty members. There's a lot of courses on Danish culture. There's a lot of other international students as well. But again, it's a really big, bustling metropolitan city. So a lot of students really enjoy that. You also need a 2.85 GPA. You have to be a junior, senior, or graduate student. You, again, also self-arrange your housing. UCEAP will give you some suggestions of our apartments and dorms, but you do make the arrangements yourself. With this is a capacity limited program, meaning it is only a certain number of seats are available. So we do encourage for you to apply as early as possible for this particular program. It is offered during fall and spring as well. And again, as I've mentioned, that there are research opportunities. So again, this is probably in Scandinavia, our most popular program. So I do encourage you to apply early if you are interested in it. The next university I'm going to be covering is in Iceland. This is located in Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland. This is you'll be saying University of Iceland. It is really, really great if you want to study earth sciences in particular, but there's also courses in environmental studies, anthropology, history, philosophy, languages, etc. But I would say most of our students who come through are typically some sort of environmental science, earth science, that sort of field. You again need a 2.85 GPA and then a junior, senior. All the courses are in English, and again, you're self-arranging your dorm or apartment. The next program I'll be featuring is in Norway. So the first one is University of Oslo Summer. And so basically, students will attend classes at University of Oslo's International Summer School. And the program is mostly focused on Norwegian and Scandinavian history, culture, language, and society. And it's a really popular program. There's a lot of field experiences, cultural exchanges, and you'll really get to see like the classroom subjects come to life. If the other nice thing that's actually true for all of these places that we're speaking of, all of Scandinavia, is that during the summer they have really long daytime hours or daylight hours, and so sometimes it won't get dark until as late as 11 p.m., which a lot of students really enjoy. But there's also just like a lot of natural beauty, and you'll definitely learn a lot about Norway and Scandinavia. So this program also has a 2.85 GPA. We accept sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Again, programs are taught in English. And so you'll enroll into 2 different courses in Norwegian and Scandinavian life and society, politics, art, history, and more. And then if you wanted to take anything, a Norwegian language course, you have that option too with this program. And then if you didn't want to go to university also during the summer, you also could go during fall semester, spring semester, or spend the entire year there. So the GPA requirement is a little lower for the fall and spring semester, fall, spring, and year-long programs. So 2.75 GPA is what's required for this. And the same thing as the summer program, if you want to take courses on Norwegian life, language, and society, are all available to you. one big difference is that housing is program arranged for dorms. If you notice, I probably should have mentioned that, sorry, on the summer program is also university arranged or program arranged. So meaning that you are automatically get a spot within the dorms on campus, which is quite nice. But this is another really popular program if you are interested in Norway. And then the last university that I'm going to cover is in Sweden. This is Lund University. This is, besides Copenhagen, probably our second most popular university and program within the Scandinavia region. There's a lot of international students at Lund University. It's very well known. It's very reputable. In particular, they're very well known for their engineering department. So it's very, very popular within engineers. And they do have a variety of courses and research projects in English, which is quite nice for our students. There is like definitely a college town, which a lot of students really like. And so like the university makes up majority of the population. It does have that small town feel. So if you want to feel like you're in a tight-knit community, this is a great place for you. If there is a 2.75 GPA requirement, you do have to be a junior, senior, or graduate student. All the courses are taught in English, of course. And like I said, they have courses in all the different topics, but they're most well known for their engineering. If you want to learn more about study abroad, I recommend that you go to our Expo Fair, which is on October 23rd. It will be right on Town Square on campus, and that way you can meet all of the advisors in person. You can learn about all of the different programs. So we highly recommend that you attend. And that's here's another slide for the Expo. And then really quickly, I want to just go over the application process from here. So if you're thinking, man, Lund sounds really, really great, I definitely want to attend that program. The next steps for any of the programs, the next steps are pretty much the same. So you must submit 2 different applications. One is your Tritons Abroad application. That's a UC San Diego based one. And then you also have to submit a UCEAP application. So remember, you have to submit 2 different applications, one on Tritons Abroad and one on the UCEAP portal. From there, what you do is that you need to submit before the deadline, which I have listed down here. And then after you apply, you kind of wait for us to review the application. If you end up being nominated from our campus, then you have something called the academic planning form. And that's when you need to meet with your major advisor and your college advisor to talk to them about coursework. So just know that comes after the application process. All right. The last thing I want to mention is that we also have drop-in advising. So if you have any questions, if you are struggling with anything, if you just want to talk to us in general, you're always welcome to come to drop-in advising. We have them on Monday afternoons, Thursday afternoons, and Friday mornings. So this is 3 days a week, literally. All the information is on the Study Abroad website. And then the other thing is that you always can just ask us a question on the VAC, which is a virtual advising center. So I would say if your question is, it can be answered in about 1 sentence, send us a VAC message. For anything more complicated, just come to drop-in advising. So thank you so much for your time. We hope that you're able to study abroad with us, and I hope you have a good day.